All right. Now we're live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to uh the I don't know, the initial voyage, the first experiment, um, probably the lowest fi conversation about films that you can find on YouTube right now. Here it is. It's Total Recall. We will remember it for you. So if you have a movie that maybe you grew up with, you watched 100 times, or maybe you only saw it once, but it's always had a special place in your heart, you're thinking maybe it's time as an adult I should revisit that, but you're not sure if it's any good or not. That's where we come in. We're going to evaluate it for you. My name is Jethro Bott. I'm your host, and with me is Mick. Mick, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Jethro. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing outstanding. We're going to bring in some guests. I have a younger brother. He loves gravy very much. He is coming to us from Columbus, Ohio. This is Jeremy. Hello, Jeremy.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. Jeremy and I have been talking about doing this for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And it's because when Jeremy and I were growing up, we watched a lot of movies.
I mean,
lot of movies, and we watched those movies over and over.
Everybody always said like sports and playing outside, like that was where it's at. I totally disagree.
Yeah.
Hang out inside, watch movies.
Yeah, that's proper. That's proper. And I did forget to mention our locations earlier because I'm here in Austin, Texas, where I don't know. I can't really say much nice things about Texas right now, so we're just going to move on. Mick is in Post Mills, Vermont, famous Post Mills, Vermont, home of
the Vermontosaurus.
The Vermontosaurus.
Home of the Vermontosaurus. It is literally 2 miles from my house, maybe less.
What is the Vermontosaurus?
It is a giant statue of a brontosaurus made out of scrap lumber.
Wow.
And now it has grown and has at least 2 children. So we have 2 small Vermontosauruses next to the big Vermontosaurus.
Excellent. Well, let me just interject for a moment because we also have from Denver, Colorado, our good friend Empress Buttercup. Hello. You are muted though.
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen,
someone muted the Empress.
It's important to note that this is actually a first for it's a first for all of us, really.
I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah. I don't know how I got here. I don't know what's going on, but I'm happy.
No, you're doing it.
Thank you for inviting me.
We're so happy to have you. I actually, like the first time I met Sandra, maybe the second time, we went to go see a movie, and we've seen many movies since.
It's always about movies.
But I'll never forget our first movie.
I forgot it. What
I think Jeff did too. It just sounded good. Like I'll always remember.
Okay, Jeff, you could make something up and no one would know.
I know. I could pick a much better movie.
Hit me though. Hit me. No, hit me. Hit me.
Austin Powers Goldmember.
No way. That was
wow. That's a winner right there.
That's not even the best Austin Powers.
I probably loved it, actually.
Not even the second best Austin Powers.
I think we all enjoyed it, you know, like I don't think we were mad at it, you know, like it wasn't like, you know.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen any of the Austin Powers films from beginning to end. I've seen like parts of them, but I've never watched all of them. And I was just looking through a flyer from my youngest son has a friend who's in the Columbus like ballet academy, like ballet met. Okay. and he's in the Nutcracker, which is this big annual show. And there was another boy in the troupe, and his name is Austin Powers.
Mm.
And I was like, that is, I don't know whether to call that cool or not.
Yeah.
I'm still mulling that one over.
It's being that kid could be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to roll with it, I think.
Hopefully, if nostalgia does its thing, maybe,
Nutcracker's cool though. I love the Nutcracker.
It's an amazing show. Yeah. If you ever find yourself in Columbus, Ohio during the Christmas season, you go to the beautiful Ohio Theater and see the Nutcracker. It is really worth the while. It's very cool.
That's right.
I've
You should
never
do
seen
a whole. You should do a whole Ohio tour. You should go to Cincinnati and get some
Yep.
chili and spaghetti, and then you should maybe, I
Yeah.
don't know, go to Akron and see the Goodyear. End of story.
Well,
I heard Cleveland.
we
rock.
can go on,
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Does Cleveland in fact rock?
Yes. Cleveland does in fact rock, and there's also somewhere in Ohio. There's a building that looks like a big basket. Anyway. Look, guys, I have a banner. Boom! Total Recall. Welcome to Total
Hell
Recall.
Total Recall.
We'll remember it for you. Kapow! High tech. Okay.
We're willing to take one for the team.
And our first movie, our maiden voyage, the maiden form we shall take. Is Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck came out in 1986 in August. My birthday is in August. I'm sure that turning 11 years old, with Howard the Duck, is probably really stoked to do that. I do kind of remember seeing this in the movie theater too. I was really excited. I always liked ducks, like. I think when I was really young, I had an invisible friend who was a duck.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's sweet.
yeah.
What was his? Do you remember the duck's name? Your friend?
I do not.
Oh,
No.
I still remember my little brother's imaginary friend because he was such a fixture. His name was George. I'll never forget George. He wasn't even my imaginary friend, but I still remember George.
George is a good name.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like the name George.
Yeah.
George. Yeah.
It's true too. Jeff, you did like ducks. You liked Daffy Duck and Donald Duck.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though both those guys are they're dicks.
Yeah.
And honestly, like in this movie, Howard the Duck is not. He's not that nice, really.
I don't like
not
Howard very much. He's very gropey.
I didn't like him.
No, he's not likable. He
My
really. Go ahead.
I just wanted to throw in something funny. I was making notes and I made a typo, but I left it because it was funny. And it was Howard the Sick because he was a sicko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was grabby.
Yeah.
Like
Patty.
Yeah. Patty. Yeah. And
Toots.
That's right. Yeah. He'd have a tough time nowadays. Yeah.
But
Wouldn't work out too well.
I think he would have had a tough time in 1986, probably.
Yeah.
the 80s were a grabby era.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not an apology for it. It was not wrong then either, or it was wrong
Right.
then.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. Yeah. You're right.
There's a lot of movies that now just don't pass the vibe check anymore. A lot of movies from the 80s. So this definitely falls into that category.
Yeah. Yes. And it and it pretty much does it right away,
Yeah. Yes,
Um,
indeed. Yes, indeed.
So, but yes, when I was a kid, I loved Howard the Duck, and this is not my first time revisiting it. In fact, I've watched Howard the Duck, like once every few years for a long, long time. I remember I'm working at a video store. I ordered my own copy of it. Like I had like
Yeah.
the new
remember
store
that.
bought VHS Howard the Duck. It's a
Oh,
very nice
wow.
box. It's like solid black with just the egg on it and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I'd show you a picture of it, but we don't have the upgraded StreamYard right now. See, we have StreamYard in StreamYard in the corner there.
Mm.
I was
What's
going
the
to
free
remark,
count? Boom.
Hey,
Boom.
internet, feel free to post a picture of the deluxe box VHS tape on the chat or something.
Mhm, yeah.
Everybody can figure that
That'd
it
be
out.
is
great.
quite apropos though that we have the
Mhm.
logo of a duck.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
Look at that.
Yes. The duck is listening to us, and we shall honor our master.
It's a mallard.
As we
Yes.
talk about Howard
Mhm. Yes.
the duck.
Howard.
Now, I
Yeah.
have not seen this since I saw it in the theater
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
in
you saw it in the theater.
1986.
Yeah, you saw
Yes.
it in the theater as well when it came out. Yeah.
And it was never on my list of, oh, I can't wait to watch that again. I
Right.
can honestly say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
remember disliking it. Like I didn't walk out angry. Bad
Mhm.
movie.
It is just a very, very strange movie.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's like there's not really anything too terribly unusual about how it came to be. Like George Lucas liked the comic book, and he just like kind of had it in his head for a long time that it would make a good movie. And he kind of like he went to school with Willard Huyck or Hayek. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, and I should have done my research. Okay, anyway. The director William, they were friends in film school, and they were still good friends. And he wrote Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Mm.
They worked. I worked on the George Lucas's non-sci-fi film, whatever it is, American Graffiti. He worked on that. Yeah. So like these guys, they were friends, they were pals, and Universal, picked this up because they had missed out on other Lucas properties, and they didn't want to let another one go. So they took Lucas up on Howard the Duck, and it was going to be animated, but Universal needed a tentpole, and they came up with the idea of doing it live action. And that is why this movie is the way that it is
Wow.
because it started like as like an adaptation of really a comic book for adults,
Mhm.
like not really an action comic book. It's more of a like social satire comedy, and instead it becomes like somehow meant to be for the family, but it's not. It's definitely
So I would like to
definitely not for the family.
definitely not for the family. So when you mentioned your age, and I think you had said you went to the movies with Jeremy to see this,
Mhm.
right? So that you two have
Yeah,
seen
Jimmy
it.
was with us. Yeah.
Yep.
Mick has possibly saw it one time, but then hasn't seen it again, right? So
Mhm. Right.
he
Yeah.
thinks he saw it. I
No,
can tell
I
you,
absolutely saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, he definitely saw it. Yeah.
No,
He
there's no doubt. I
Okay.
have memories.
Geez. So I was 16 in 1986,
hmm
and that movie was nowhere in my realm of interests at all. So there was no way I see. But I wonder now if my brothers went to see that movie, or if my brothers saw it or wanted to see it.
Mhm.
So I need to check with them because we're all three of us are only 2 years apart. So it's not that, and they had vastly different tastes for me in terms of cartoons and comic books because we all watched cartoons and comic books. It was just that there was 2 boys against 1 girl. So I didn't get to watch Strawberry Shortcake and Care Bears, on my cartoon. And my comic books, I liked Richie Rich and Casper the Ghost and Archie's and all that. And they wanted all different comic books than I did. So it was hard to share. You know what I mean? It was hard to share.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, and then the other thought I had was, I think this would have been such a better movie as a comic book movie
Yeah.
than a live action. I think we all would agree
Yeah.
that just because
Oh,
that's
an animated film. Yeah.
animated
Yeah.
versus what it wound up being, which was like, just art so ridiculous that even as a 16-year-old girl, I knew that movie was not for me. Okay.
Yeah.
It just
Were you aware of Leah Thompson though?
yes, I
Yeah.
love Leah Thompson. Of course, I was obsessed with Back to the Future
Mhm.
and
Sure.
all the other movies that she made during that time. So yeah, that alone should have prompted me to see this movie, but no, I think at the time I was just like, that looks like the dumbest movie I've ever seen in my life. So it just, I heard about it, but that's about it. Like it went immediately away from me. So I thought this was a super interesting movie. Thought it
Mhm.
was super cool, but
Yeah.
not one I saw the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but there is like one actor who is delightful to watch in the movie. There's one actor that actually somehow manages to have chemistry with the duck. you know
It is
Yeah.
remarkable. That is remarkable that you put it that way, and it is correct. Yeah.
and also sings and rocks out on stage, and she does a lot of very physical stuff, like stuff that's got to be really quite difficult, and sometimes she's picking that duck up and shit. Oh yeah, we're way into the podcast now. We could say fuck, shit,
Yes.
shit.
We need
fuck.
a sign
Thank
that's
God.
like the cuss alert.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Notification.
When did they come? We can cuss now.
I'll make one. I'll hold it up.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like I remember going to see it
Mhm.
at the movie theater with Jeff, and I remember how excited Jeff was about the movie. I mean, this was a big deal to him,
Mhm.
and I was like kind of like reflexively excited about it too. And I remember like feeling like it was really weird and being pretty lukewarm about most of the movie. But I will always remember the ending. I think the movie really does have like a very fun ending.
Mhm.
It's got some really good special effects, which was that would have been really impressive to me as a kid. I was like I was probably like Empress Buttercup's brothers, right? Like Care Bears. I want to watch G.I. Joe, I mean, I want to see you guys shooting shit,
Yeah.
I was really very much into that, like
I never got to
Transformers.
I didn't get to see
Stuff
Smurfs
fighting.
either. I just want
Yeah.
to say that I'm still bitter.
But yeah, so like there's really very little action in the film until the end, and that's when like they really start spending some money and blowing shit up and special effects. And I remember enjoying
They bring
that.
in Phil Tippett.
Yeah. Yeah, Phil Tippett stop motion monster, which looks really good.
Yeah.
The Dark Overlord is probably in a way the funnest character in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, no
He
doubt.
is
I
fun.
think, yeah.
Huh?
No doubt. The best.
Okay.
Yes, Mick agrees with you. Okay, I thought we were gonna have a fight.
Oh, God.
Because we're like, no,
Not
I
yet,
didn't
not
like.
yet.
I didn't like
Not
the
yet.
Overlord. I didn't like him.
No, I remember when I was a kid, I liked the Dark Overlord character, and the monster's great, and the action scene at the end is good.
Yeah. Did
But
you know Jeffrey Jones was
He really is a Dark
arrested?
Overlord.
He is
He-
a no,
he's
he
a Dark
really-
Overlord.
He really his forehead really morphed into like this crazy. He went
Mhm.
like really extreme. You know, he was looking normal. He just
Yeah.
looked like he was getting sick. You know, like he was just really tired.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
the forehead bulges.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was good.
And like, I just the first part of the movie is it's nothing is really going on. Like it's very hectic, it's very chaotic,
Yeah.
and it just keeps going and going and going. And then the next thing you know, Miss
Some
Thompson
really
and the
weird
duck,
shit.
Miss Thompson and the duck aren't getting along anymore. They're having a little tiff. And Howard has to work in a like a fuck sauna, like, and which also has a butt,
It's a sex spa.
a sex
Sex
spa,
spa.
Sex spa.
and it has a mud pit. That's what something alive crawls, something that has never lived before crawls out of that mud pit every night.
Yeah.
One day it will become a chud.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't
it's like,
know.
but it's like they waited till about halfway into the picture to actually start to have a plot or a
Yeah,
story of
yeah,
any kind.
yeah.
Like before that, things just happen, and it's like, huh?
Well, it was
fuck
a
is going
crazy
on?
it was a crazy sequence of events, right? Because
Mhm.
they show the duck dimension. So you get like that brief glimpse of duck dimension. So you're like, what the fuck already? You know, what is going on? Why are there nipples on top of feathers on a naked duck taking a bath with
It's
her
fun for the
titties
whole
out?
family. Yeah.
So you're already confused because of that.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
so he goes from duck dimension into the portal, right? So he like travels through this crazy interdimensional portal that goes on and on and on. And then he
Yes.
immediately winds up in an alley and is like fighting things, and then winds up in the punk club and is fighting people. And he's getting bounced around, right? Because everyone's freaking out because they're like, what? Where does this duck? So
Yeah.
it's really, I think that's what you're referring to. At least that's what I remember.
Yes.
But at
yeah,
the same
it's just-
time,
It was a lot.
I
It was a lot.
feel like if an actual large sentient duck showed up, the reaction would be quite different.
He like almost gets killed. Like he goes through like his 9 cat lives. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
people
Trying to
decide they
destroy-
want to eat him.
He was gonna get
There are
barbecued
some,
or
like,
something.
there are some
Yeah.
inexplicable impulses displayed throughout the film by various characters, and I
Oh,
really
yeah.
I have to talk
You know
about I have to talk about the one that, like, I was talking to one of my other sons about this movie, and he started looking at scenes of it on YouTube. At one point, before we get to an actual plot of the film, like the
Yes,
Dark
yeah.
Overlord, before that's even like remotely like
We're
a thing.
still stumbling around.
Yeah, well,
crazy
I mean,
blind.
Howard, portal through space, lands on Earth, decides it's time to go see a social worker. So he goes to see a social worker.
Time to get a job.
He does it immediately. He does it
Time-
immediately.
Like
Time to
immediately,
start
like,
paying taxes.
Yeah, no, it's like, and what does he do? He gets lectured by the social worker that about how life ain't a free ride just because you look weird. Like,
Yeah.
Pull yourself up by your little duck bootstraps
And sends him to work at a sex spa.
and go work as a towel boy in the sex spa.
Mhm.
but the impulses, okay, like people,
Mhm.
the impulse of the people to try to eat Howard the duck at the diner for like no apparent
Mhm.
reason. So the
Yeah.
social worker turns her back to Howard. The social worker is, of course, portrayed by a black woman with a rather with a little booty going on, and
It wasn't
What?
little, Jeremy.
okay,
What?
and she turns
Yeah.
around and bends over, and and he like tries to bite it.
Yeah, he tries to
Oh.
bite her big butt.
That must have been when I was gone because I don't
No, he
remember
gets-
that.
Oh my
He's-
god,
he like lunges.
it's so
Eee.
weird.
And like, yeah, what is it? He's gonna bite her butt?
That
He's
is
gonna bite her butt. Like he's looking at her butt, and he's like, like
like
he
he
can't
just
help
had
it.
he just had an urge that he couldn't control.
Oh,
That
it's
was
so
his
horrible.
plan. That was his plan too.
Wow.
And
I'm-
it's funnier with us talking about it rather than actually watching it. I mean, it's like
I'm getting heated now.
It
I
gets-
did not know
yeah.
that the lady that got him the job got assaulted
Yeah.
in her own office.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rude.
yeah.
I mean, but then yeah, I think ducks do randomly come after you and bite you, right? Isn't that like a duck thing? They do chase you down and try to bite you.
That could
Yeah.
be part of it.
And-
Yeah,
and you-
maybe
and-
that's
and
what they're saying like, yeah, that's what ducks do when they're mad. So wouldn't it be funny if he did it to her butt? Like
Wow. Jeez.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think there's a multi-layered like thing going on there. Like that whole scene is like to me like very like anti like public assistance.
yeah,
And
Yeah. having a little fun at the expense of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I really don't know what to say about the duck trying to bite the booty.
It
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
it made absolutely no sense. There was no lead in. There was no explanation. They gave me no reason.
Yeah, I'm glad.
They gave me a duck biting a woman's ass.
Yeah, I'm glad we could. Yeah, I'm glad. And it seems like right at the start with the silly voiceover that it is going to be a really, really funny movie. But
It really wasn't all that funny though.
no,
Mm.
no.
I wouldn't think. I
No.
didn't think it was.
There was a
overall.
punchline with no joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a wise cracking duck, but he never really cracks particularly wise,
Yeah, right. Yeah. He's
He-
just
that
kind of
just-
cranky and kind of just a dick.
And he,
Yeah.
and he insults you. Yeah.
Yeah. Or bites your butt.
Mhm.
Or tries to bite. He didn't successfully bite her butt. He
No.
did go after it though. She stopped him.
No.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
That yeah, I definitely missed that scene.
Yeah. But of course, he went back. He went back and I always wondered, like, when I was a kid, I really had a thing for Leah Thompson. Like I remember, like, she was like one of my first crushes, and I always just kind of assumed it was because, well, when I was a kid, I loved Howard the Duck, and she was in it.
Yeah.
That's why. But then revisiting Howard the Duck, it's actually because she is in lingerie. I mean, she's
She's
in her-
almost she's almost naked in that one.
She's
Well, and then
almost
she's like
naked.
she's doing it with
Yeah.
Howard the Duck, right? They're like rolling
Yeah.
around in the sheets at least.
she
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
aggressively comes on to him because he plays off cool, and she's like, oh, okay, well, and as some folks may already be aware, duck penises are horrific things. They're terrifying.
No, not
They're
aware.
like,
don't-
yeah.
Yeah,
They're this monstrous corkscrew, and
Yeah.
the evolution of the duck is that they don't want to have sex with male ducks. Like, the female duck does not
Yeah.
want to have sex, so they're whatever, I don't know what you call it, their passageway keeps getting more complicated, and so the duck penis keeps getting more complicated. So, you think about comparative size, Howard the Duck, he gets an erection. Like, that's got to be fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Like Tetsuo, the Iron Man level shit.
Oh, jeez. Say
It's
no
just-
more.
Yeah.
Say no more, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's true.
Oh,
like,
he has more.
Okay,
Yeah.
I had to. I wanted to switch directions a little bit and ask
Okay.
a question because I,
Absolutely.
first of all, don't want to talk about that. Second of all, when was Back to the Future? When was Back to the Future? made?
84.
84.
So before this movie.
Yes, before this movie. Yes.
Okay, because that's so interesting because yeah, I think she actually is really super cute in this movie.
Yeah.
Like she looks
Yeah, she
better
is.
in this movie than she does in Back to the Future, but that's obviously because she's older and more mature probably. And then also, like you said, she has a totally different look. Her hair is like super crimped and all that. Like she
Yeah.
she looks
year
super
or-
cute.
Yeah.
A year or two before Back to the Future, she did The Wildlife
Okay.
with Chris Penn. And
Hmm.
no, she was super cute in that.
And so also I did want to say that now that I have seen it and we've had this conversation about Leah Thompson, I think she's pretty much really the only reason to watch the movie is if you want to see
Yeah.
her in a cool role.
Mhm.
Like you said,
Yeah.
singing and
Yeah.
being a badass and looking super cute.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely the first half of the movie. She's
Yeah.
all there is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there
The Dark,
is
the Dark Overlord picks up
Yeah.
some of the slack.
second half of the film.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and-
there's also some like really fun I will say this for the film, like there's some really, for nostalgic reasons maybe only, like there was some like amazing mid 80s fashion going on,
Mhm.
you
Of
know,
course.
and
yes.
styling,
Yeah.
like Leah
Yeah.
Thompson's apartment is pretty awesome.
She has a great
Um,
apartment. All her outfits are really nice, you know.
Totally.
Although, like every skirt she wears is like that
Yeah.
big.
No,
Like-
but also her whole band is super cool. Like she has
Yeah.
a cool chick
She has a great
band.
band. Yeah. Yeah.
And they're all really who was that one girl? Robin. I can't remember her name, the actress that plays one of her bandmates. Anyways, her bandmates are super cool too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like the club scenes and stuff are awesome.
Yeah. Mick was Mick found some lyrics that are pretty special. These songs were by Dolby, right?
Thomas Dolby did all of the music except the last song,
The last
which
song.
is Thomas Dolby and George Clinton.
That's amazing.
George,
That's so cool.
And
Harlem
so,
Funkadelic, Clinton.
wow. And so, do you
And it
believe that?
shows.
Yeah. I was going to say,
It
do you
shows.
believe
It's a
that
good fucking song.
that he wrote the lyrics? Like, would you
I
mind sharing some?
absolutely- See, we're gonna jump down near the middle.
Yeah, I mean,
Hickory dickory duck. He ain't about to be plucked. Too groovy for gravy, too precious for pate. He's a funky little feather-bearing waterfowl. A quake that's not a fake. Little cupcake of a drake. Come into my tub of love.
Oh boy.
I was with you till the end there.
ride the corkscrew.
We call him Howard the Duck.
Oof.
A funky little waterfowl.
Mm.
If it ain't funk, you don't feel it.
That's right.
Yeah, I think George wrote that.
Y'all
Mm.
nasty.
Was not my fault. I didn't do it.
You're
It's just a duck
nasty.
in me.
Mm.
You're nasty.
Man, I'll tell you one thing. One thing about this movie that I simply cannot recommend. This is like cringe fucking city for
God.
Tim Robbins. Every
Oh,
time
man.
he is on the screen, it is painful.
It's
There's
truly
not-
cringeworthy. Yeah.
Hey,
It's-
everybody
it's
probably
bad.
feels cringe when they think that they made this movie. Think about it. Leah Thompson's probably like, what the fuck? I'm
Oh, I don't
naked in this
know.
movie.
She knows she looks. I mean, she knows she looks good in this movie. She pulls it off, man. That's and Back to the Future. She looks great in that too, man. I really like her in that movie as well.
Join the chat. Hey, is anybody on the chat?
No, I don't think anyone is watching.
Sweet.
If I'm not mistaken. I think it's yeah. There is exactly 0 people currently chiming in. So good for
Well,
us.
I even sent the YouTube link to my sons.
Oh, well,
No love.
yeah. Hello, Jeremy's uncaring children.
Hello, Al Gore's internet.
Yeah.
He believes in you. Flipping around.
Well, I guess I can close the chat window if nobody's there.
Yeah.
You can chat.
Yeah.
You can say something. I'll put it up on
Chat
screen.
does.
Put anything up on screen.
Uh,
Yeah. It really shouldn't be me doing it because I'm supposed to be hosting this. So
well, you're
I'm not
doing
supposed to
it.
get distracted.
You're doing an amazing job.
Yeah.
hosting.
Oh, thank you so much. So, that's how that works. Like I commented, I put the comment up there.
Nice.
Oh, now everyone knows.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
you're welcome. So, moving on. I didn't really want to talk about Tim Robbins, honestly. I do like talking about Jeffrey Jones, though. Like Jeffrey Jones he's great, It's not so great that he hired a kid to take pictures of him, but like his career is actually like pretty rad, like he's in a lot of like
Oh, yeah, he's
really
done a lot
fun
of
movies, and
Yeah.
he's done a lot of like really fun like just cameos, like he's the Emperor and Amadeus, the one that yawns during Mozart's whatever. I don't know. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that movie in a long time. We're not going to be watching it on Total Recall. No way.
It is a good movie that everybody should watch. I think it's well known. Yeah.
Listen to Jeremy. Okay. Yeah, just in case anyone's joining us, which they're not. There's
They're
here's
watching
here's the
us.
name. Here's the name.
I,
Watching
for
us
one,
later.
am here for it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
People in the future are
yeah.
revisiting this episode.
Yeah, and yes. Well, I
Because
hope,
there's probably not a huge rush on people rewatching Howard the Duck. So I guess when that
Yeah.
happens,
Yeah. There we will be fodder that comes out of the internet black hole that they will be tunneling down.
Oh,
Right.
Good. Yeah.
We also haven't had time to ride the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen night one.
Oh, okay. I haven't. It's been a long time since I've seen Lawnmower Man, so I'm not sure how it all works. Like
Yeah.
I know there's
Ahead of its time.
Yeah. So anyway, we're still talking about Howard the Duck, though.
good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, Howard looks weird.
Yeah, even as a kid, I felt unsettled and not charmed. Like I did not find him charming. Like, and it is an effective costume in that it's like really expertly pulled off, and I gotta say, like, it doesn't even really look extremely costumey. Like it's really, really well done. But I find the whole thing, like the effect still to this day, like unsettling. Like I didn't like
work.
Yeah, I didn't like it when I was a kid, and I don't like it now.
I don't think I can agree with you, because to me it looks extremely cheesy and very fake and but I do agree there's like some kind of also just weird creepy element about it that you can't really put a word to. So there's something creepy. Maybe it's the eye. I don't know. Also,
the eyes are bad. Yeah.
I did notice, like, I do notice like continuity type things in movies, and I can't stand when like he comes hurtling through that portal through multiple dimensions. He has no luggage, but has like a suave and debonair outfit in every fucking scene, which makes no sense. Because I'm like, did you have a tailor custom make all these outfits? Did you have a luggage?
No,
He
he
just-
shops in the kids section.
Yeah, but he had his tail. He had room for his tail. Everything fit him. He was very
Okay,
snazzy
yes, it was
in his
tailored as far as
outfits.
his tail.
It was like he
Yeah.
had a custom tailor. I'm sorry. You can't
It
just-
fits
Yeah.
extremely well. And
Yes.
speaking as someone who has been to the thrift store, I find it very unlikely that you would be able to get
Agree.
all those
That's-
outfits that fit that
Well,
well.
well fitting.
And
yeah.
then, you know, like
He had
Like,
an outfit
the
for
tail
every
hole.
occasion. Like, do we not remember the silk tiger jacket that we all
Yes.
coveted? Because
yes.
like I
It's
want
ama-
that jacket.
It's
It's
amazing.
amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
He had some great, yeah. I mean, I like the kitty sweater he's wearing when he's at the employment office.
It's
know?
possible that being a towel boy at the sex spa pays well.
Mhm.
Tips.
You get a lot of tips.
Tips, yeah,
Duck
Yeah.
tips.
yeah.
Corkscrew tips.
Uh,
They didn't make that cartoon. Duck tips, woo.
Hey, you probably could really make some like good OnlyFans money with a corkscrew situation type
Mhm.
of deal.
Oh
Probably.
yeah, oh yeah,
Probably.
Oh,
Saying.
in 2023? Fuck yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Millionaire.
maybe it's time for a Howard the Duck sequel. You know, where like he's
It
essentially
just goes
rich.
into the adult film
He's,
industry.
he's rich and adult film star. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
We need to rate this. Do we need to rate this adults? This is not PG. Just so
No, it's so strange that it's PG because you know it's.
the movie's PG, but I feel like this conversation is not PG.
Oh,
That's all
no,
I'm trying to say.
No, this is not PG. No,
But why is the movie rated PG? It's so nasty. And it's
It, like,
PG-13.
it constantly traffics in adult situations.
Yeah.
It just goes from one adult situation to another.
No,
And
it's
within
not-
within moments of the beginning of the
Yeah.
film.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
in less than 5 minutes in.
I was gonna say they didn't have to wait 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Or whatever. They went straight. They went
It
straight
showed
to the
boobs.
Yeah,
They went
they were
straight to
Right
booby.
to it.
not just
Yeah.
boobs, not just boobs. They showed nipple.
Yeah.
Like
And she
that's
was
a different
pleasuring
level of
herself.
boob.
You had a
Right.
duckoid, a female duckoid on the duck planet
in the
But it's
duck
a duck.
dimension.
pleasuring herself in her bathtub 3 minutes into the film. Like I want to see the timestamp.
I
on
thought
that.
she was
Like,
just taking a bath. You nasty.
No.
Yeah, I think
No,
she's just
she's
happy
like-
because she's drinking champagne, right? She's drinking champagne.
no, her hand was
so
going.
she's just having a luxurious
downstairs.
bath.
Yeah, I thought she was just self-care night. Like, come on, get a
Oh
grip,
yeah, there was
Jeremy.
self-care going on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was
Y'all are-
self-care. Let me tell
Y'all, yeah, exactly.
Maybe I'm more duck than I think I am.
Mind your
Ooh.
business. It's self-care
Ooh.
night.
you. No,
I'm
she
not
was taking
judging.
care of
I'm just
herself.
saying.
And that's
Family
okay.
picture. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah,
It
but
is
it's
so-
a duck, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, it is so strange that they made all those ducks and you only see them for a second,
I know it was
you
so
know,
fast.
and they
Yeah.
made a bunch of them, and like you got to think like he's got like you know this Playboy, but it's play duck, you know, and like somebody's making a naked duck,
Wait,
and then they're
It-
taking pictures of it. They're like, "What am I doing with my life? What? How did it come to this? I wanted to make movies. I wanted to make children laugh. And now I'm taking a picture of a naked duck.
I was Phil Tippett's coffee service for like 6 months, man.
Yeah,
I thought I had my big break.
yeah.
Now I'm just making a naked duck. It's really weird though. I don't know. It's
Mhm.
we all, it seemed like when we were watching it, like we all agreed, like we kept going back to that question though. And it is significant. Like, who is this film for? You know,
Yeah.
like,
What's the point of this movie?
yeah,
creeper
and like,
dudes. It's for creeper dudes.
yeah. I mean, it's like, and it is like that situation where they're trying to make a film and they've invested enough money that like, well, if we specifically just target this as like a black comedy for adults, we're going to lose our ass on money.
Mhm.
I
We need to make
also-
sure we get kids in here And so you end up with a movie that appeals to nobody really. I
It's
mean,
funky.
yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
there's a level of kink or a level of cosplay to this movie too. So anybody who would be into that, like maybe, I don't know. There's
Yeah.
I don't think that tie-in was as intentional as it wound up being.
I don't think it maybe was
Because-
intentional, but I would
No.
think that a bunch of people who were into that would be into this movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
could be, yes. But no, we started out, I think, trying to make a movie that was going to be the Howard the Duck comic book.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then the studio gets a hold of it and go, no, we want to make it live action.
Yeah.
And
You
then we
know-
want to do this. And because as they're spending more money, they have to get a bigger audience.
yes.
Yeah.
And it turns into a movie that nobody wants.
You know, somebody
Yeah.
was snorting cocaine, doing way too much cocaine when they came up with this idea, and they thought it was amazing. They thought it
Yeah.
was
Oh, yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like when I watch Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, I'm like, that's a movie that just runs on cocaine.
Yeah.
So, you know, like it really does seem like everyone is just ripped to the tits when they made Howard the Duck. And like, I wonder, like, you know, like if there was any like personal crises at any time where they were like, all of a sudden they realized, like, man, I'm making like an extremely expensive, extremely
yeah.
broadly distributed movie.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this duck and I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah,
I had someone make duck nipples. What am I doing?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of that.
Yeah.
So, do we know how well that movie did? Like,
Oh, it
a
was a-
flop,
Yeah,
negative,
Huge
Yeah.
counter?
Huge bomb.
It was infamous
can't
for its
imagine.
failure and its like lack of popularity because it was like supposed to be a big blockbuster. But you know,
They
like
spent a fortune on that
yeah.
movie.
yeah, and they advertised the hell out of it. And Universal, you know, like this was really going to be their summer tentpole movie. You know,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it said that
Yeah.
it grossed 38 million, which is nothing, I guess, in terms of
Yeah.
movies.
It definitely looks like it cost more than 38 million. That is for sure. You know, like even in
Yeah.
1986. But
Oh, yeah.
that Phil Tippett stuff is so great that you
Yeah.
know when you finally get
Yeah.
to see the actual form of the Overlord, man.
Yeah.
that thing
it's
is
really
really
good.
neat looking.
And gross too.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
it's genuinely gross. It's got the tentacles coming out of the palms and stuff.
Mhm.
It's nasty.
yeah, but you know, it gets to that special effects part, and they like you know they freeze Tim Robbins. You know, like oh good, you
Yeah.
can't make the duck voice anymore. What it's so weird that they did that tongue thing with Jeffrey Jones's character when he's turning into the Overlord and
Yeah.
he just his tongue goes out. And it's also like crazy that he's like, oh, you know what? I need more power. So I'll just go to a nuclear power plant, you know, like
Yeah.
let's just take a quick little detour. It's just right here. You know, I'm just gonna go over there and I'm just gonna like real quick take the tour. Like, how often do they have tours at the I don't know.
I go every week. I have
That's
a,
like
I have a,
being
I have a
alive.
bag.
Great tour.
That explains a lot.
You know, the cafeteria is real good.
I was
It
wondering why
gets
you're.
glowing reviews.
Yeah, I was wondering why you were radiating a
You're
glowing
fine.
aura.
I'll leave now.
No, but I mean, you know, it takes place in Cleveland, and Ashtabula does have like, you know, stacks near it, and I know folks
Oh,
who've
yeah.
grown up there. They'll just joke about like, you know, what comes down the river, you know. So don't bathe in there.
Yeah,
Don't
it is
get-
true. Yeah,
Don't get the Ashtabula water.
the Cuyahoga River caught on fire twice.
Yikes.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
Ohio.
Ohio. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I seem to remember that was another thing that we thought was cool about the movie when we were young. Like
It took
like
place
oh, it
in
takes
Ohio.
place in
Yeah, it takes
Ohio,
place in
man.
Ohio,
yeah,
yeah.
wow, cool.
Yeah, and it really makes Cleveland look great, you know, like who wouldn't want to
Yeah.
go there, you know?
It's not a
And-
very accurate representation of 1980s Cleveland, I don't think.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that I
Isn't there
know,
like,
yes.
isn't a woman about to be assaulted or something? You know, like in the early part of the movie when he's like running through the streets. There's just a
Oh, yeah.
lot of adult stuff.
Well,
Too much.
It just goes
too
from like
much.
one adult thing to the other.
that's how
Yeah.
he meets Leah Thompson.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
she's getting
yes.
she's getting assaulted
getting
in the
She's
streets.
assaulted.
getting assaulted.
Yeah.
Man.
It's totally not cohesive. Like,
No.
you know.
But it's not family rated. I don't think it's family oriented either.
no.
It's just got
Mhm.
it's got too much of a creepy creeper vibe.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. And interesting to see it now from our perspective now. Even though I was around back then, I wonder if I
Mhm.
would have seen it the same way.
All I can tell you is that I thought it was awesome. Like, I don't know, like, you know, I kind of wish I could see this movie through like my childhood lens, you know, and be like, well, that's what I like so much about it. Because
And how do
like,
you feel it's held
yeah.
up now? Are you cool with
well,
it?
you know, it's I guess, you know, we can go ahead and start talking about whether or not we would recommend this. So, you know, you put yourself in a headspace where someone loves this movie or they thought they loved this movie. They saw it as a kid, you know, they were like, I have great memories of this movie. I'm wondering, like, how is it held up? Do I want to see this movie? So, like, for me, I think that, you know, Howard is a pretty boring character, you know, like he's just like, even, you know, like, there's not really any like kind of mystique right off the bat. They're just like, look, here's the duck people. Get used to him. This is what Howard looks like. You know, like he's in like every shot of this movie practically. You know, like here he is. You know, and like, and he's just, I mean, he's just kind of dull. You know, he's not as terrible as Tim Robbins. But it is such a weird movie. It is a unique movie in that no one like. How could you get this much money to make such a bizarre film? And you know, as we've said, it's not the movie. I'm sure it's not the movie they intended to make at all. So I would recommend you revisit it. Like that's you know, just to see like how strange it is, maybe to like think about like, you know, when you saw it a long time ago, what did you think of it? You know, like how was it? Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
you
So
vote for
I'm
salvage title?
yes. I think you should.
Salvage
I
title.
think you should go ahead and see how. And you should know that like it's a long movie. This movie,
Not really.
It's like an hour and 50 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
pretty long.
it's creeping in on 2 hours. You know,
Mhm.
there is way too much of it. It don't need all that. You know, like
Mhm.
and
Oh,
like
there's a lot of filler too, like just nonsense. Like
I mean, it's just
the scene
ultra.
was the scene with Howard and Tim Robbins' character on the ultralight. Like, for one thing, where the hell did the damn ultralight come from? It appears literally out of someone's ass.
He just likes them.
And,
He just likes them. Yeah.
and they just, yeah, I want a scene with Howard on the ultralight. Let's go, do it, make
Yeah.
it. Let's make this picture.
They had to have a duck that couldn't fly, you know.
Yeah,
Oh.
fly. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That reminded me of another movie I would like to see that is from a long time ago. With that, have you seen that movie? Is anybody familiar with Fly Away Home?
Fly away.
It's got
home.
Anna Paquin in it. She's like super young. I think it's Anna Paquin. And they end up raising some geese and they teach it to fly, and they use one of those things. They have to teach this duck how to fly away. And then so they raise this little duck. And anyways, I'm not gonna tell you because it's a really good movie.
I'm really intrigued now.
But I did, when they got on that, I was like, oh my God, I immediately remembered that movie because I was like, that's about a duck.
Does
Yeah.
the duck
I mean,
fly?
it's about a goose. It's a
Yeah.
goose. Sorry.
A
the-
goose,
Does
related.
fly?
Geese, because geese fly away and then never mind. I can't tell you. I
Geese do
can't.
fly away.
Yeah.
That sounds like a
Not the
movie
ones
that
in Denver.
that sounds like a movie that probably is going to try and make you cry, right? Like there's probably like, you
Listen,
know, a little
listen.
tear
You
jerker.
can.
little
Little
tear,
girl,
little
and there's a dog.
teary action.
I'll just recommend that movie as a tangent. That this movie, I did have a wholesome thought,
Mhm.
despite all the debauchery of Howard the Duck. So, yeah.
You better keep Howard away from that movie, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jeremy, but I don't know if you were in your little in your discussion about what you would recommend, or what Jeff just did, the whole summary of your
Yeah.
Oh, no.
thoughts.
No. Uh-uh.
Because I would like to offer mine. If
Yes, I would love to know
Yeah, go for it, Princess Buttercup.
if you
Please
think
tell us.
someone should revisit Howard the Duck.
So I
Empress.
think, first of all, I could never be black or white, I think, on certain
Mhm.
movies, just because there's pros and cons. So I think I agree with you, Jeffrey,
Mhm.
that this is an interesting movie in just its like bizarreness and weirdness. I would recommend it if you're a Leah Thompson fan. I would
Yes, she's
recommend
great.
it if you have a duck kink or fetish. I would recommend it if you're a misogynist who is also hypersexual and doesn't get laid.
Mm,
Please feel free. Watch that movie.
large demographic.
Yeah.
A large demographic.
Yeah.
Many people fall into that category. Yeah. So some people I think might love it.
Mhm.
I myself would not recommend it for a femme identifying
Yeah.
individual such as myself. Like, do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I hear you. It's not.
I'm not opposed that I'm not mad that I saw it. I'm not mad about it. I'm
Mhm.
not mad about
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I could definitely understand how, like, if there is like, if there is anyone that this movie is for, it probably is like a preteen boy who is hyperactive and smokes cigarettes
Yeah.
and like eats a lot of Slim Jims and like, like
lot of
only,
garbage.
like occasionally has to take a break from pro wrestling.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh, watch the Duck movie again. Watch the Duck movie. Yeah."
Also, I would like to just visit the soundtrack, see if there's a soundtrack for this movie, because I
Oh
do
yeah,
like
it's on Spotify. Yeah,
I
you
do
can-
like
yeah.
movie soundtracks
Mhm.
a lot of times more than I like the movie, and I think
Mhm.
this
I-
might be a fun one just to
No, good point. I think the
Yeah.
soundtrack is quite possibly much better than this film.
The Howard the Duck song rocks.
Yeah.
Like everything that band does
Mhm.
is good.
Well, and then, we only have Howard the Duck to thank because he's the one that pulled them out of their punk rock trash club obscurity into worldwide,
Like domination. Yeah.
worldwide domination, right? As their manager. Remember?
Yeah, and
At the
if there's
end?
that's right. And if there's one thing we learned from Howard, it's that violence is the solution.
Yeah.
And
that group of female musicians, they would of course have to have a male duck manager in order to succeed. So.
yes, and he has to rescue them from
Right.
another male manager.
Right.
Yes,
The abusive male manager.
Yeah.
yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
But Howard isn't abusive. He's only gropey. Okay.
So for me, I think it's like a sideways. It's mixed.
All right.
Mixed.
Gotcha.
Mixed review. Yeah,
Mixed review.
Yeah, I think that's really understandable. I'd be happy to give my feedback as well. I think all the points are totally valid. Like, I mean, for certain people, this would be like a repeater film, like almost like a trash cult classic, right? Like every once in a while, I gotta watch this. This movie is so ridiculous. Kind of like I know people that watch Masters of the Universe once a year and stuff like that.
You think that it's film festival worthy, though? If you're saying that, you think it should be shown at a film festival?
I
it's
am not.
midnight movie. I
Yeah,
think it's
midnight
it's
movie.
it's midnight movie material. I think for Empress did a good job, like listing a lot of demographics that it would actually appeal to. But for me, like I'm going to keep it in the context for this show, Total Recall. Like I'm going to say, if you saw this movie when you were a little kid and you remember enjoying it, like, oh yeah, that was like a thing, but you never thought about it much since, leave it alone.
Oh.
Enjoy that good memory that you have, because for me, because
Are you
it doesn't hold,
disappointed?
it does it, yeah, I mean, it's like
Disappointed.
I found it like really nauseating. Like I thought
Oh,
it was like
wow.
I thought it was like offensive
Yeah.
and in an horrible taste. And
Yeah.
I thought the jokes were fucking awful
They,
and not
nothing
funny.
lands. Nothing lands.
You know, the only scenes that I think back on and laugh at is just because they are so ridiculous. And I
Yeah.
don't even know how really that funny they were supposed to be, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
yeah.
You know, when
I-
she's about when she's
No,
about
when-
to
no,
have
when the-
sex with them, and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, how?
I
What
was
are you
freaked
guys
out. I got
doing?
What is
immediately, I
going
was
on
like,
here? You know,
absolutely not. What is she doing? Get out of there. Why are
Is
you
this
in your
happening?
chonies?
Is this
Why are
happening?
you in your
Yeah.
chonies
No.
in front of a duck?
yeah,
A pervert
I mean,
duck. A
yeah,
pervert duck.
she's like totally in the skimpies, tied
Mhm.
down on tables, writhing around multiple times in the
Not
movie,
okay.
like more
Yeah,
than once.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
but like,
Not okay.
you know, my favorite scene in the film is the diner for sure.
Mhm.
That is the best part of the film. That's the
Which is
only
a
redeeming
pointless
part for
throwaway,
me as an
too,
adult.
you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's totally pointless. That's the only
Yeah.
reason I like it. Is because like at that point, it's like this is totally cocaine fueled nonsense right here. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. A
Like,
sushi diner in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, and it's like we got a guy here who's obviously not himself. We let him drive the truck. We ended up here.
Yeah.
He's
he
being
stops
possessed
here.
by a dark overlord. Let's get breakfast. You know,
Y'all were so
you know-
freaked out about the breakfast, but I was like, they're tired. He's
Yeah.
been morphing for a long time.
let's just get him some eggs. It'll be
He's-
fine.
Yeah.
Burnt a lot of calories.
That's
And-
that's the solution to many of life's problems in real
Yeah.
life, though.
Eggs
Yeah.
and toast, man. Just
yeah.
2
Yeah.
in the morning, things going to shit.
Yeah,
Go to Denny's, get some eggs.
yeah,
yeah.
When violence isn't working, it's time to
Yeah.
refuel. You know, like
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I know I can like bully and beat up my way out of this, but first I have to have some hash browns.
yeah.
But no eggs. No eggs.
No
Get them
eggs.
out of here.
Yeah.
Like he immediately reckoned like
No
so I
eggs.
guess on his planet, like eggs do get cooked because he knew exactly what it looked like,
Yeah.
you know. But
But that's the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah, I mean, do they like fry eggs in front of their children just to scare the shit out of them, or what? You know, like
That's what
Well, I
they
think-
tell the ducklings if they're bad.
we're gonna.
It was sunny side up, so it
Yeah.
looks like an egg if you
Yeah.
just crack it. That's
Yeah.
obviously working. I don't think cannibalism has to enter into this.
yeah, they have abortion clinics and they smell fantastic.
What?
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
Hey,
All right.
you got-
Okay,
you got
well,
extra
anyway,
stuff.
Moving
But-
on.
I just-
But yeah,
Yeah.
just to close mine out, like
Yes. Close
it's
it out.
It's certainly
Brady.
a unique and a rare bird.
Mm-hmm.
For some discerning taste, might really get a kick out of this film. The vast majority of the population will think it's freaking awful. Even Leah Thompson couldn't save it. So
Mm.
sorry, Howard.
Yeah.
I'm also like, you know, I grew up a huge Star Wars fan, kind of worship George Lucas's work and stuff like that. As an adult, to kind of look back at somebody like him, like seeing this project through and turn out the way it did, and to like stand by it, it's sort of like really questionable to me. You know what I mean?
I think
'Cause-
everybody's
'cause-
embarrassed that they made this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Even- Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
no, I don't know. I just, yeah, it's like you can say it's the 80s or whatever, but it's like in really bad taste. You know,
Mhm.
you're trying to like get people to take their kids to this movie.
Yeah. There had
Yeah.
to be a lot. Yeah, there had to be a lot of that. Like
Yeah.
people take it. So you say just don't watch.
I
Don't
think
do
it's a
it.
total
Don't.
loss.
Okay.
Total
All right,
loss.
Mick, I'm very excited to hear whether or not you would recommend this to a fan, a once young fan.
Jeremy, you got to give me fist bump. Oh wait, you got to give me fist bump. Boom.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go. You got to go this way.
Other
It's the
side,
other
other
way,
side.
other
right?
side.
Other way.
No, do this.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh yeah, here we go.
oh, you
Oh,
know-
there you got it. Oh my
Hey!
god. Oh
We
my
agree.
God.
Okay, sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
go Mick.
Yeah.
So we got two no's ish.
Yeah.
Broad, big picture, no. I cannot recommend most people watching this movie.
Wow, I am so surprised.
Wow. It's a
Do tell.
no.
Do
Yeah.
Again,
tell.
most people. No, most people. Because I am going to say I enjoyed it more than I expected to. Much more. And I think for a certain type of person who enjoys
Don't do-
watching something not work, if you like a train wreck,
Mhm. Yeah.
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 Some people
sure.
like
you're
a
going to
train
come
wreck.
out of this feeling
yeah.
better than you thought you would.
Yeah.
The second half of this movie almost saves it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It makes an effort. Yeah.
The monster. The monster was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, as bad as the first half of this movie is, the second half of the movie redeems so much of it. It can't fix the duck. The duck is horrid.
Yeah.
Animation would have saved us in that aspect.
The duck
I
is
think
horrid.
if you made a new Howard the Duck
Mhm.
using current Marvel CGI technology,
Right.
like Rocket Raccoon, and you make Howard comic book Howard, you might have a movie.
Ooh, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Horrid the
ooh.
duck.
I forgot to mention.
Mhm.
I have my little fun fact about Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck makes a cameo in Infinity War.
He absolutely does.
And I can't remember if he's so they go to this guy's place, the Collector, and he has Howard in a cage.
Well,
Mm.
that sounds terrible. What happened? He went to jail? He got caught?
No, the
No,
Collector
he got
just
collected.
yeah, he got collected by the Collector.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
He's pretty. I mean, he's pretty vulnerable as comic book
Yeah.
heroes go. He doesn't
Yeah.
really have any special powers, and
Right.
Oh
He's-
yeah,
Or any
he's
powers at all.
he's
he's just sitting in his enclosure. He's hosed. He knows he can't
Yeah.
do. He's like, man.
yeah.
He's got a cigar.
Yeah, he's got a cigar.
Well, James
Oh,
Gunn.
so yeah,
James
if
Gunn. He likes. Maybe he'll make a Howard the Duck.
Yeah, I
I
would go
think
see
he could.
James
I
Gunn's
think they
Howard the
could.
Duck. I would totally go see James Gunn's
Yeah.
Howard the Duck.
But sorry, Mick, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah,
know you-
I
you
didn't
still
mean
had
to either.
So no, I think for a certain breed of people, if you remember this movie not fondly, you're not going to be disappointed. I think the second half redeems it. The first half is hard to get through. First half is really hard to get through. So if you're the kind of person who is turned off by that idea, stay away.
Mhm.
Otherwise, give it a ride. I think it's worth a ride.
So, but officially, if you
No.
were a fan of it as a kid, that would be a no.
No.
Okay.
Officially, no.
Do not revisit
Yeah.
Howard the Duck. Well, I guess someone out there should be thanking us.
Yeah. They don't know it yet.
They don't know it yet. No one knows it yet.
I just got done watching this movie. If I only listened to them.
I am glad that I would, at least it wasn't completely unfamiliar. I do recall
Yeah.
this movie from way
Mhm.
back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's that. But yeah, I guess if I, you didn't know about it, you'd be like, whoa, what the heck?
Mhm.
What the heck?
So, does anyone have a title for next week's episode that you feel we should revisit? Does anyone have any films in mind that you think maybe you'd like to check out? I know, like, there's a few movies that I saw as a kid and really liked that I definitely have not seen once as an adult. So I have a few of those in mind for
That would be good.
myself. But yeah, I'm pretty open.
That was my question too. What are we
Yeah.
seeing next time?
What are we seeing next time?
Oh man, we had a list.
Well, I like Batteries Not Included. Like, one of the reasons why I want to watch that one is because I loved robots. Like I was like I was duck obsessed. I was robot obsessed. If someone had made a duck robot movie, my brain flew out.
That's awesome.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Been first in
Oh.
line. First in
Yeah.
line for tickets.
What about something that goes back a little bit earlier? Like I'm trying to think of something like, because I feel like I've seen Batteries Not Included, like not really as an adult, but like I kind of remember it well.
Okay.
What about, like, let's see, we talked about like the Young Sherlock Holmes Chronicles or the Explorers, or like, I
Yeah,
mean, I haven't seen the Explorers since I was
Yeah.
like
I
way
have
little.
never seen that.
Explorers with River Phoenix. Is
Is that River Phoenix? I don't even remember. Was it Corey Haim or Corey
It's
Feldman?
a Joe Dante movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a Joe Dante movie.
Is that Corey Feldman that's in that one?
Let's see. I don't think I've seen
That's true.
Explorers.
Oh, really?
It's a Ethan Hawke, River Phoenix,
Hmm.
Jason Presson.
Yeah. Well,
Other
I
people.
definitely. Yeah, I really could not tell you.
It's from 1985.
Yeah, I don't know if I have seen Explorers since I was a kid. Like I've thought about it, like it's,
Mhm.
I remember when I was a kid, I really liked that thing they flew around in. I've never forgotten
Yeah.
about like
Yeah.
the tilt-a-whirl ride that they turn into a spaceship.
Yeah. That is awesome, dude.
Yeah,
So wait,
yeah,
you
it's
have
a cool
seen
looking
it?
thing.
We've
Oh,
seen
well,
it, but
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Oh,
haven't
not
seen
since
this
you
one.
were a
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't believe I have seen that movie since I was a kid.
I know I haven't.
I remember one of the characters, perhaps River Phoenix, was named Wolfgang, and I, as a kid, really liked that name.
Yeah.
His mom calls him Wolfie. So I remember that, and I also remember what the aliens look like. And one of the aliens is played by Robert Picardo. And he shows up in a lot of stuff, including Star Trek. Robert Picardo.
Picardo.
Jeremy.
Oh, the guy who plays the doctor in Deep Space Nine.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And he used to like it's kind of funny that he was on Deep Space Nine. He didn't really wear any makeup because he would often do like, roles with makeup on it.
Yeah.
And voice work. And I think he's just the voice for the alien. I don't think he's actually in the alien suit, but
Yeah.
yeah, it had like there's fun aliens. It's kind of like a sci-fi Stand By Me, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
don't even remember what the aliens look like. I don't. I mean, that tilt-a-whirl thing is about the extent of my memory of that film.
Yeah. Yeah, so I kind of expect it's a Joe Dante film. I bet it's fun. I bet in some ways it definitely still holds up. I mean that that, like you said, that tilt-a-whirl thing, that thing is pretty cool. You know,
Yeah.
like I remember thinking that would have been pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you never saw it, Mick? Did you see it?
I never saw it.
You
Me
never
neither.
saw. Okay, all right.
Mm.
Well, what do you guys
Mm.
think? Like, have you ever heard of it?
Mm-mm.
You've never heard of it, so you really have. You couldn't even go. You couldn't go in any blinder at all.
No,
Correct.
honestly,
You are
when he
correct.
brought it up, I was thinking of a Don Bluth cartoon.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
really surprised that I didn't see this movie, honestly, because it seems like I would have for sure. So
Yeah.
maybe I did see
Yeah,
it and I
man.
just forgot.
Look at all
Oh,
those
yeah.
heartthrobs. You know?
I know.
Like,
No,
Yeah.
I was like all about this.
How did you miss this?
Right. I'm kind of wondering if I did see it. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I
Yeah.
just.
Hmm.
Also, too, I was like a huge if it came on cable, then I almost pretty much guarantee I saw it because we saw every movie on cable, back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that's how, like, I came to have a lot of these movies kind of tattooed on my brain. Was that like we had cable and we also had a VCR, and I
Yeah.
like, I could record movies that I liked and watch them like obsessively,
Over and over.
over and
again.
over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no idea. No idea.
Yeah. I pulled up I put together like a quick list. I mean, I was just
Mhm.
like rattling them out of my head. That was back when we were talking about this
Mhm.
before. And I mean, there's some like probably some winners and losers in here.
Oh no, we're
Uh,
doing Jeremy. We're doing Explorers. It's Explorers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're
doing
just yeah. We're doing it. It's
Okay.
going to be Explorers. I mean,
Sweet.
like it really sounds like that's like I mean,
Hey, I would love to see young Ethan Hawke and young River Phoenix.
Yeah.
Hit me with
Yeah.
that right
Yeah.
about now.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
yeah,
Because that
You know,
was
like-
they were super, super young. And River Phoenix, like this was his prime, wasn't it? This was right before his prime.
I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
really don't know much about his like kind of like career
We'll find out.
trajectory. I mean, I know he was in The Last Crusade. We're just gonna keep talking about Indiana Jones every episode. We're never gonna watch any Indiana Jones, but
Yeah.
I have a pretty clear idea what's good and bad in that franchise.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'll fight you over Temple of Doom.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't like Temple of Doom because, like,
He's like, okay.
like
Oh,
it has
snap.
nothing to do with Indiana Jones. He's just, he just fumbles his way into this place, and like this kid keeps saving his life over and over again. were you
Okay,
gonna say?
Raiders of the Lost Ark. If Indiana Jones is taken out of that movie, the exact same events occur. He has absolutely no effect in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Wow.
Nothing would have happened differently if he
Yeah.
was gone.
Yeah, he
If you
failed.
just-
You're right. The Nazis got it. They
Yeah.
opened it, and that's that.
Yeah. He succeeds in saving himself and his girlfriend. That is
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I never even really thought about that. But
Hey,
yeah.
I love Raiders of the Lost
Yeah.
Ark.
Oh, I do.
love
I
that
do.
movie.
It's a great
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah, that
Temple
was
of
one of the
Doom
ones that
is
you.
my
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Temple of Doom is by far my favorite
Oh, wow.
Indiana Jones movie.
Wow.
Interesting.
It is the most fun.
Hmm,
It's
interesting.
definitely pulpy.
Very
It does not
interesting.
take itself as seriously as the other two. It's a lot of fun. And you have a guy holding up a beating heart.
Mhm. It could have
Good times.
What
really
more could you
yeah.
want?
It could have really used a talking duck though. Like I feel like maybe like this was like that was the original script for Howard the Duck, and they were like, oh, let's just make him short round and put Indiana Jones in it. We'll do just something different with this duck. Just
Oh wait,
But,
like George Lucas is coming out of retirement. And he's
Yeah.
gonna like CGI Howard the Duck back in there.
yeah,
it was
he's gonna
meant to
do
be.
it. He's gonna fix it. So I'm thinking about Explorers. I want to get back to Explorers real quick. And
I'm really
like,
excited about watching.
Like I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I know that I do remember that I like the kids, and I can't think of how this like constitutes 90 minutes because all I really remember is like the kids have a dream, they build the spaceship because of their dream, they spend a few minutes hanging out with aliens, and that's the movie. So like in my mind, I'm like, this movie's like 5 minutes long, you know?
Right? Yeah.
You must have had ADHD as a child.
Oh.
Wait, maybe that means you still do have ADHD. I'm just-
I used to have a whole lot of H, you know. Like, now not so much. Not so
Yeah.
much. Now it's more the A and the D, but it used to be a lot of H.
Yeah. So that's so funny that you have a really abbreviated.
Yeah, yeah. That's you know,
Memory.
like you guys are Joe Dante fans, you know, like do you guys know his movies? Like Gremlins? and-
I
Oh,
have
yeah,
seen
yeah, of
several
course.
Joe Dante films.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
I'm sure I have. I'm more of a fan of the actors, and I'm never.
Yeah.
I don't put a
Don't
ton of
follow
movies. I
the-
don't categorize movies by the director. Not all the time. Like that's more rare for me. I go more by eras or like type of
Mhm.
movie or
Mhm.
the actors in the movie or that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I think it's interesting how people do that differently, and it's true. Like how people will like refer to movies like as Tom Cruise movies,
Yes.
Mhm.
you know,
Yes.
rather than
Yeah.
Tom Cruise being in like a director's movie or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like if
yeah.
you tell me it's a Nicolas Cage movie, I'm probably always gonna want to watch it. Like
Well, hell
that
yeah!
that doesn't mean that I've seen every Nicolas Cage movie, but
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of them and I love him. If you say
Yeah.
same thing for Keanu Reeves, same thing for, many actors and actresses.
Well, on that note, I love Dream Scenario. I thought it was great, and I really love Nicolas Cage in it. So,
Which
new
movie?
Nicolas Cage called Dream Scenario. It's really great.
Cool.
Awesome.
He's a schlubby professor who starts appearing in lots of people's dreams.
Ooh.
A lot of people, yeah.
Wow.
And it just goes some very interesting satirical places. Like
Yeah.
it's a pretty good social satire, and yeah, I do recommend it. And Nicolas
he's-
Cage is great in it.
He's really enjoying a renaissance in his career,
Yeah,
I mean,
he's doing great.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's probably no Super 8, or no, not 16 millimeter. That's what it was. I'm trying to understand.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, 16 millimeter. It's like 60 millimeter had like there's a movie that Paul Schrader made called Hardcore, where like George C. Scott sees his daughter in a pornographic film,
Oh, wow.
and like I'm sure that's what Nicolas Cage was going for. He was like, I can do that except with rabies, and that's what's happening on 8 millimeter, And Joel Schumacher's behind the camera the whole time going like, it's not enough. It's not enough. Keep going.
Let's make this picture. I just want to do that for real in my one time in my life, someday before I die.
What's that?
Like really,
Make a
like
Nicolas Cage
I want to make
movie?
this picture.
Yeah. Make a Nicolas Cage movie. Well, I hope you can, Jeremy. I hope that happens.
I don't say Nicolas Cage movie. I just said,
Yeah.
just want to have a viable reason for saying, let's make this picture.
Yeah. Let's shoot this fucker.
Well, I gotta go. To
And
bed.
we have our first comment in the comment section.
We have a
Dude,
comment. I
Sweet.
closed the
Someone has
comment thingy
commented?
so I could see all
Oh.
the faces.
I have a
Do
bad
it.
case of diarrhea. Do it.
Do it.
Do what? It.
Do it.
Do it.
What is
Do
the
it.
Make
it?
the movie.
Do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
make the movie.
Make a movie, Jeremy.
Let's
Yeah, I
make
was
this
gonna
picture.
say you could just say that now and go make
Yeah.
a movie on your iPad. Like no one's really
Okay.
stopping you.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a good movie.
But
Better
doesn't
yet,
it?
Just throw that in at work from now on. Whenever something needs to be done, let's
Yeah.
make this picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
get a stamp and just start stamping it on
Oh,
stuff.
I love the stamp. Yes.
Just
Yeah. Mhm.
start
Do it.
stamping your
Let's make
bills.
this
Let's
picture.
make this movie. Send it with a check
Make it done.
to your mortgage company.
Boom. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna.
I would like to say welcome and thank you for the comment to our guests,
Mhm.
Laura,
To our viewer.
Hello, Laura.
our viewer. Keep the comments coming. Okay, that's
Our
all.
number
Sorry,
one
Jeff.
fan.
Woo! But Sandra, will you be able to join us again? Will you be commenting on Explorers this time next week?
Yes.
Maybe exploring
Sweet.
explorers.
Yes.
Exploring Explorers, wonderful. Jeremy,
Okay, yes. Mhm.
Jeremy, I take it
I'm on board.
this is your pick. This is right.
Yep.
This is Jeremy all the way.
I'm
Jeremy's pick.
super excited. I'm super
Yeah.
excited to watch Explorers again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Super excited.
we're
Oh,
gonna
okay,
get-
yes. So yes, next Wednesday's not Christmas.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah.
No, it's not Christmas this time. We might miss a Wednesday or two in the future, on
Yeah.
account
Holidays.
of
Got it.
holidays or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We'll discuss that next week.
Yeah. If we can't do the
Um,
27th, that's okay. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, after we're just going totally ape shit about how great Explorers is. Woo!
Yes.
R.I.P. River Phoenix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If he,
Sure.
yeah.
Now that really brought the room down.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mhm.
goodness.
I
Back
don't
of
know
that
if
dead
we're-
people.
I don't know if we can keep making more maudlin comments. We can't end on this note.
No. Hey, I do need to go to bed, but this
Mhm.
was a blast. This was a
Yes.
lot of fun. Thank you guys.
Yes. So thank you for joining us on Total Recall. And we will be back next week where we will talk about Explorers. So if anyone out there saw Explorers and is like, man, is that movie really actually any good? We're going to find out for you. We're going to find out. We'll remember it for you.
All right.
I love these things. You see how many of these things I keep playing with here?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's
fun.
cool.
Yeah. All right. There's the note we're going to end on.
Yikes.
Jeffrey Jones was not a good person.
You have to
No,
watch out
not
for
a good
those
guy.
Jeffries with the J. All right.
Yeah. Untrustworthy. Can't trust
Okay.
any of them.
Good night, Internet land.
Adios.
Good night, everyone.
And we will see you again next week. Explorers.
Peace out.
All right.
Woohoo.
This.
Rock on.